1 second, she's there. The next, she's not. Surveillance footage showed her walking into a crowded street in broad daylight. Hundreds of people passed by. Cameras caught her smiling. And then nothing. No one saw her leave. No one saw anyone follow her. No body, no trace, no answers. This is the story of Alyssa Montgomery, a 27-year-old journalist from Portland, Oregon, who vanished in one of the most documented, observed spaces in the city, right in front of everyone. And yet, not a single person knows how. Alyssa was not the kind of person who just disappeared. She was vibrant. Sharp. A former collegiate swimmer turned investigative journalist. She was the kind who asked too many questions and usually found answers. She worked for an independent media company known for digging into tech companies and government contractors. But to her friends, Alyssa was the funny one. The one who hosted wine nights and brought her camera everywhere. To catch life in motion, she'd say. She lives downtown. Worked 3 blocks from her apartment. On the morning of May 14, 2021, she had a meeting scheduled with a whistleblower, someone who claimed they had documents linking a defense contractor to illegal surveillance activity. She told one friend the night before, "If this is real, it's the biggest story I've ever worked on." She never made it to that meeting. That morning, Alyssa left her apartment at exactly 9:03 a.m. We know this because of her smart lock timestamp and the doorbell cam footage. She wore a gray blazer, black jeans, white sneakers. She looked alert, confident, and not afraid. Her apartment building sits at the corner of 10th and Belmont, a busy intersection covered by at least 4 traffic cams, 2 business security cameras, and countless dash cams from passing vehicles. At 9:06 a.m., she appears on the Belmont Cafe's outdoor camera. She stops briefly to tie her shoe. She's looking at her phone, maybe checking the meeting location. A woman walks past her pushing a stroller. A jogger nods at her. She nods back. At 9:09 a.m., the traffic cam at 10th and Hillview shows her again, crossing the street. The whistleblower's meeting was at a coffee shop 2 blocks east. And then, at 9:11 a.m., she simply disappears. No footage after 9:11 shows Alyssa, not turning a corner, not ducking into a store, and not interacting with anyone. Police reviewed 28 different video feeds from that 3-block radius. Her phone was last pinged at the corner of 10th and Hillview, right where she was seen last. Then it went dark with no GPS and no signal. At 9:27 a.m., the person she was supposed to meet, who went by the alias Carl, texted, "I'm at the table in the back. Are you coming?" No response. By 11 a.m., her employer began to worry. At 1:12 p.m., Alyssa's roommate reported her missing. Police responded fast. The thing that caught their attention wasn't just that she vanished. It was the footprint she left behind, or rather, the lack of one. Alyssa didn't just go missing. She was erased. Police reviewed a second angle of the 10th and Hillview camera. And they noticed something strange. At 9:10 and 34 seconds a.m., you see Alyssa walking. She turns her head like she hears something. Her body hesitates for a while, almost like it senses danger. And then, a black SUV slowly edges into the camera frame. It's a model with no plates, no company markings, and tinted windows. It stops for exactly 6 seconds. Then continues forward. At 9:11 a.m., Alyssa is gone. 1 second, she's there. The next, she's just not. The SUV was never identified and it appears on no other footage. Investigators began working with private firms to trace the vehicle via VIN patterns. The results were inconclusive. The SUV model is one commonly used by federal agents, but there's no official request or GPS log from any agency in that area. That's when things got weirder. 1 week after her disappearance, Alyssa's editor received a thumb drive in a manila envelope with no return address. On it was a single video file. Silent, low resolution, timestamped May 14, 2021. It showed Alyssa, or someone dressed like her, sitting in a small concrete room with her hands on her lap. She's not moving and her head is down. There was no one else in the frame. The clip is 11 seconds long and at the end, she slowly looks up and smiles at the camera. Police could not verify the video's origin. metadata was wiped. The background analysis failed to locate any known facility. The FBI was consulted, but the family says they were later told not to discuss it publicly. Alyssa's parents still believe she's alive. Her roommate believes she got too close to a dangerous source. Her editor thinks it was something bigger. But what haunts everyone is that smile. What did it mean? There's one more thing. The surveillance footage that showed Alyssa walking down the street? The one investigators reviewed frame by frame? When a freelance journalist requested copies via FOIA, he noticed something off. In the original footage, there's a shadow. A second figure appearing behind her in a reflection, but never visible from any other angle. A shadow that moves exactly when she does, but that never casts onto the ground. And when analysts ran a color layer sweep, the reflection didn't match her shape. It looked distorted, like it was following her. Have you ever looked into a mirror and seen something behind you that wasn't really there? That's what investigators believe happened in the final known footage of Alyssa Montgomery. A glitch? A camera trick? Or something following her? Because here's the part that no one told you. There wasn't just one camera that picked up the shadow. There were 3. And on all 3, the shadow moved when she moved, but it was never seen from the front. This is where the story takes a turn from strange to something much darker. 2 days after the footage was released to media outlets, an independent digital forensic team from Vancouver took interest. These weren't your average tech nerds, they were ex-cybercrime analysts, experts in deepfakes, digital layering, and covert surveillance. They pulled raw footage from 10th and Hillview, and ran frame-by-frame color analysis. What they found sent chills down their spines. In the cafe window reflection, the moment Alyssa turns slightly, you see a dark silhouette behind her. Roughly 6 feet tall. Long-limbed. Unnaturally still, and its head isn't shaped like a human one. They tried recreating the lighting conditions. They tried identifying who else was on that sidewalk at the same time. But nothing lined up. The figure cast no shadow, it wasn't visible in other angles. And its outline distorted slightly with each frame, as if it were flickering. Alyssa's last known location placed her 1 block from a boutique hotel called the Sovereign. That building, investigators discovered, had once housed a psychological operations firm during the Cold War. In the 1980s, multiple disappearances were reported within a 2-block radius. All unsolved. A retired concierge who worked at the Sovereign for over 40 years came forward anonymously. He said something strange happened back in 1985. He recalled seeing a woman on the security monitor who didn't match any guest records, but appeared in several hallway camera angles over the course of one night. She never entered the building, she never left, and her footage, just like Alyssa's, showed her walking down the street with a reflection that didn't belong. Remember the freelance journalist who obtained the FOIA footage? His name was Colin Park. Colin started digging. He contacted former employees from the Sovereign. He built a timeline of unexplained incidents tied to the building and its surrounding blocks. He traced back 5 missing persons in the last 20 years, all women, all in their 20s, all vanished within a 4-block area, none were ever found. One night, Colin posted a thread on X, formerly Twitter, with a chilling side-by-side screenshot. On the left was Alyssa's shadowy reflection from 2021. On the right was a still from the 1985 woman in the Sovereign security footage, and they matched. He captioned the post, "What is this? Why is it still happening?" The next morning, the post was gone and Colin's account deleted. His followers said he'd posted an update, that he was being followed, and then radio silence. 3 weeks after Alyssa vanished, a tourist named Monica Estrada visited Portland. She stayed at a hostel near the area of the disappearance. She took a photo in front of a mural wall, cheerful, colorful, and posted it to Instagram. When someone zoomed in and they noticed something. In the window behind Monica, partially obscured by glare, stood a woman in a gray blazer and black jeans. Alyssa. But there was something else. Right beside her was a tall figure. Its head tilted. Its outline faint. It looked just like the reflection. But no one saw it in person that day. Monica swears Alyssa wasn't there when the photo was taken. Following the viral spread of Monica's photo, a flood of anonymous tips started arriving. People claiming to have seen a woman who didn't belong in shop windows, in alleyway reflections, even in puddles during heavy rain. Most reports came from within that same 4-block zone near the Sovereign. Several tips mentioned hearing a soft whisper, something unintelligible, until one person uploaded a filtered audio recording. It captured a voice saying she's not gone. She's behind. Digital experts reviewed it. No traces of tampering, no background voices matching that tone. Who was whispering? And what did they mean by behind? A new detail emerged 2 months later after a high school coding student from Idaho named 𝘬𝘓𝘪𝘴 downloaded the publicly available footage to test out a custom AI frame interpolation tool. 𝘬𝘓𝘓 enhanced the reflection using color overlays, distortion reversal, and pixel extrapolation. And when he posted his findings on Reddit, it broke the internet. In the 9 hours 10 minutes and 38 seconds frame, milliseconds before Alyssa disappeared, the reflection's mouth opens, mouthing a single word that doesn't match her expression. Stay. But Alyssa kept walking and then, she vanished. One frame. That's all it took to change everything. A mouth moving in the reflection. A word no one heard until now. This is the last known digital trace of Alyssa Montgomery, a still frame that shouldn't exist, enhanced by an AI tool never meant to reveal what it did. This isn't just about a disappearance anymore. It's about what happens when you see something you weren't supposed to. 𝘬𝘓𝘓𝘴 wasn't trying to become part of the case. Just a high school senior, obsessed with coding and machine learning, building his portfolio for MIT. He used Alyssa's footage to test out a custom algorithm for temporal resolution scaling, basically, making low-res video look smooth. But when he focused on the cafe window, the frame where the reflection moved its mouth, he saw something off. When slowed down to 1/20th of a second, the shadow's jaw unhinged slightly. It didn't move like a person, it was too fast. 𝘬𝘓𝘓𝘴 posted the result to Reddit, along with one chilling observation: it's not her. Whatever's in the reflection, it's not mimicking her. It's warning her. The video exploded online. Within 48 hours, several amateur sleuths uploaded side-by-side comparisons with older, unsolved disappearances in Portland.
If you made it this far, you're one of us. We don't stop asking questions. We don't let the darkness win. Subscribe for the next case, and bring your flashlight. This is Dark Case Files.
And the same distortion glitch, a mouth moving independently in a reflection, was found in 3 other cases. Each time, it happened right before the person vanished. The lip movement seemed to form one of 3 words: stay, behind, see. The subreddit Vanishing Point launched a full investigation, pulling thousands of public security camera feeds around the Sovereign. Someone found something terrifying. A user named DataPhantom13 uploaded a clip from a shuttered print shop dated 6 months before Alyssa vanished. It had never been archived by police. In the clip, a man walks down the street and glances into the store window. His reflection stops walking, he keeps walking, unaware. But the reflection lingers, watching. 30 feet later, he turns a corner and disappears off camera. That man, Tyrell Moss, age 31, was reported missing the next day. He was never found. The reflection had watched him go. The term echo room was coined by a user named Iris_404, a former DARPA contractor. They proposed that the Sovereign, and several buildings within its radius, were constructed with acoustic architecture meant to disrupt sensory perception. Essentially, certain spaces can echo back not sound, but memory. Iris_404 suggested these buildings had been used to conduct visual cognitive experiments, where reflections were manipulated in real time. The theory? That a psychological echo, not a physical entity, had been programmed to target individuals with unresolved trauma, guilt, or exposure to classified information. People like Alyssa. People who couldn't look away in time. 3 months after 𝘬𝘓𝘓𝘴𝘶's discovery, a new email arrived in Alyssa's editor's inbox. No subject line. No sender. Just a Dropbox link. Inside was one file titled final.mp4, In the video was a static shot of the same small concrete room from the earlier thumb drive. But this time Alyssa is standing. She stares at the wall for 90 seconds. Then turns to the camera. She says nothing, just holding up a sheet of paper. On it, handwritten, "There are more of us." Then she smiles. And the screen cuts to black. Police tried tracing the IP. No luck. Digital forensics confirmed it wasn't edited. But there were strange compression artifacts, resembling reversed encryption. The message wasn't just meant to be seen. It was meant to be found. And in the background, beneath the silence, one Redditor found something even more disturbing. When you isolate the left audio channel and boost the gain 300%, you hear this: "She stayed. Will you?" The Alyssa Montgomery case is still open. Still unsolved. Still watching.
If you made it this far, you're one of us. We don't stop asking questions. We don't let the darkness win. Subscribe for the next case and bring your flashlight. This is Dark Case Files.